All right, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. All right, greetings, salutations. Welcome to another Council of Kings broadcast. I am your host, as usual, the immaculate, prestigious G. Tonight we're going to start. Our topic tonight is called trading spaces in American society. Tonight is going to the subject of gender roles. How have gender roles in society played with the effect in how our first world country has become what's the word I'm looking for? How has it become more mangled? No, well, not mangled per se. More, I wouldn't say discombobulated. Let's. I'm trying to think. What word would I use to have that? Probably. How about different? Let's stick with that for the time being. How has our society become different due to the stagnant change of gender roles? And how we were going to determine how has that been for the better and how has that been for the worst. I have a few new guests on tonight. Some who have been, some new people. Some have heard of my podcast. Some just people who just, some old colleagues of mine. Someone's new. But we're gonna get everything started and see what these lovely individuals have to say about tonight. So without further ado, here are my guests. All right, greetings, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello, salutations.
so tonight's uh tonight's going to be talking about how have gender roles changed in our society and what differences and what are some prejudices that have caused gender roles to be changed, but what are some good outcomes that have dealt from these. So let's look up what the definition of what a gender role is. Gender roles are specific duties or classifications determined by sex or identification, which how people identify what are what whether they are based on biological means or whether they are based on self-identified duties. And let me give you the let's give the hardcore definition. Gender roles are known as sex roles in a social encompassing a range of behaviors and attitudes that are generally considered acceptable, appropriate, or desirable by a person based on that person's sex. So basically there are attitudes and personalities that are protruded by a particular person based on what they deem as acceptable to that society. And to be frank, the type of society. So let's get into a little bit of more nitty gritty. Um, what gender roles? What does gender roles mean to any of you?
Uh, Gender roles to me honestly mean that basically a traditional household based on a biblical standpoint, whereas the man is working and the woman stays home, cook, clean, and take care of the household, and not only that, takes care of the kids. During the recent years, we kind of like switched because women are no longer staying in the household anymore. They're no longer doing that. They're actually out working just like men. But yeah, you still have certain jobs that um even though the man and the woman still do still work those same jobs, the man is more likely to get paid more because of his masculinity and because that he is deemed a worthy fit for the job. um that's that's kind of what I'm getting at from a because I am a religious person, and yeah, I understand that I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I understand that everybody has like their own way of doing things, even in a relationship kind of like deal. It's just that like we're no longer doing that anymore. Like we want to work and we want to make money just like men. And as a woman, I just don't want to just take care of the house and just I don't want my soul. I don't want just my sole purpose as a woman to just take care of the house and take care of the kids. Like I want to do other things too. It's confusing. I don't know if y'all get me or not, but that's
I
kind of
get
how.
it.
I understand what you're basically saying. You're like you don't want to be like one sided coin,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Bo, do you have anything? What's your definition of gender role?
Gender roles to me are basically pre-designed roles given to you based on your gender, male or female, in birth, in accordance to whatever society that child was born into. So if things are deemed appropriate for a male to do things in this society, then that man will try to conform to what it means to be a male, whether it's in the household, in his career, or whatever. And the same thing for a woman. But with everything, all these movements in society and all these shifts in society has been opening the doors for women to do more and to take things to the next level, because a man was always supposed to be in power, supposed to be over everything. And things have changed so much and people have changed things so much that gender roles are starting to kind of be frowned upon as it was,
Right.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, Q? Do you have your perspective on it?
I basically agree with what everyone's saying. It's basically to me, it's basically stereotypical roles of whatever gender you are.
Mhm.
Um, and nowadays women are stepping up to the more dominant roles. Like women
Yep.
don't want to just sit at home and watch kids all day. They want to make their own money and feel independent.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And that frankly for me is understandable. And well, women basically just got rights in the last, well, in this country, legal rights in the last less than or probably 100 years ago.
Yep.
Like I said, 18 early, 1910. So
That's very
it's
recent if
something
you
new.
think about it. Yeah.
That's really recent. Like I mean, segregation ended in the '60s, and that's not really that
Mhm.
long ago. So things are different, and I go back to one that specifically was talking about since women have the right to do most of what they want, it's not really necessary for since one gender role since women don't necessarily need a man for them to take care of them necessarily maybe outside of a family unless it's by their own choosing, of course.
Right.
It's mostly most women have the right to choose what they wish to do with their life, whether that's they want to work a full-time career and make something of themselves, or maybe they just don't want to not live contentfully without male's presence, and that's
Right.
understandable. My next question for this situation is how have these gender roles changed society?
Hmm. Well,
Not well. Oh, you go,
oh,
Bob.
well, I can say, hmm, I can pretty much say it changed society because you, oh, it changed society simply because things were looked at a certain way at one point, and everybody thought it was going to be that way. Everybody thought that the man was simply supposed to simply just be the man doing this and that, providing. Now you got guys around here looking crazy simply because they feel like they're not a man because they ain't got money or they can't provide a specific thing, you know. But it's changing because women are becoming breadwinners, and women are getting elected, you know. So it's pretty much changing. As much as people hate it, it's changing.
Yep.
Right. I
Uh,
I'm sorry. You can go
no,
ahead.
you go. No. You go first.
I just it is changing for it is frowned upon to I say the least because like men no longer have that dominant role in relationships anymore because it's not I'm not speaking about all men, it's most of them that feel that, oh, since I'm the man, I need you to do this and that, because you have men that narcissistic men that want to take on a dominant role but still have a mind, still have the mind and a mentality of a fucking toddler. um I feel that based on my experience and based on the things that's been going on, I feel like the traditional household still exists. But it only exists when you have the right person and when you have that the right person you're being with and y'all both in that mindset, because it's thing. Like I can't think of I can't get my thoughts together tonight for some strange reason.
Yeah,
But
it's understandable. This is this. I guess this is the first time you guys have actually done this with somebody else, and it's understandable. You're doing fine.
right. But right. It's just that it still exists. It's just you don't find too many households with that kind of mentality. But and sometimes the roles are reversed. Like sometimes the woman goes out and they are breadwinners and the father actually stays home and take care of the kids. Sometimes the roles are reversed, but the traditional or biblical household is still there. Now, outside the Bible and outside of the traditional one, you still negatively speaking, you have men that actually like narcissistic, especially narcissistic men. They expect these ladies to do everything for them while treating them like crap in a relationship. And especially where there's children involved, most men
And
just want.
sometimes they don't have a. No, sometimes they don't have a form of employment. If that's what you're about to go with.
Right.
Okay, those are called hobosexuals.
Exactly. Just being in a relationship because you're homeless. Like like I said not too long ago, you just like you sitting up in this girl's house, eating up all her food, sucking up all her air, drinking up all
And a
her
ball of
water,
fruit
and
snacks.
not contributing to anything but dick. Like you're not contributing anything. So it's like in a woman's mindset, it's like, what the hell, like, why are you in my house where I'm doing everything, I don't need you, so therefore you can get out and I can make this happen on my own with or without a man, period. And
That's understandable.
right, and
Right.
that's how most women actually think now.
I agree with that point. However, one point I will nitpick at that, if a woman is choosing a guy who's basically doing all that, that kind of says more about her standards of the individuals that she's picking to be with.
Exactly. But not let's not forget that it's hard to leave those kind of relationships too. Even though she's mentally left that relationship, she is still physically there. It's not hard to leave out a relationship like that.
Hey, can I ask a personal question? Let's. But why since I know Q and Quay are ladies on the panel, why do women tend to stay with bum ass mofos who they know good and well who don't have a pot to piss out and or a window to throw it out of?
Because it's more of like a mental thing. Like I know, like when people are together for like years, they feel like, oh, this person knows me. I'm more comfortable with this person, even though I know
Right.
I can find better. I feel like nobody else can like treat me like this person, even they may treat you like shit. But it's just like holding on to something for so long because they're used of it. And so they get attached and they're scared of detachment. So it's
Right.
easier said than done, but it can be done.
Right. And it takes a while to leave a relationship like that because I was one of those women when I was with my ex-fiance. I was with my ex-fiance for 6 years and I just love like I it took a lot of strength and a lot of willpower to leave a relationship because that person knows you from the inside out.
Right.
And it's just it doesn't happen overnight, you know, like one like you may feel ready to leave, but there's always something that that person says or with your the partner that your narcissistic partner might say, and then you fall right back into that spell. It's all about mind. It's all about like willpower. Like even though you're mentally, like I said earlier, you may be mentally out of the relationship, but physically you're still in it. And that's how it is for a lot of and that's how it is for a lot of these people.
You think that you could switch that around a little bit because you said you might be mentally gone but you're physically still there. Is it do you think it's backwards? You might be mentally still there but you're physically gone.
No.
No, it's you said it right. It's like you there physically, like you're with the person, but mentally your mind's somewhere else. You're not thinking.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought when you meant I thought you meant when you leave the person you're mentally still with them. Okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. My next let's keep expounding upon that. With career and gender roles with careers wise. I know from what I've realized, from what I've found, like a majority of women do take up the workforce when it comes to, I would say, service style jobs. If that makes sense, I'm not talking about like you know uh, like restaurants. I'm talking about like administrative, social working, productive business, and a few STEAM side of careers. And Quay addressed the what's it called again? Wage gap. Yeah, the wage
Yeah.
gap. In earlier in her statement. My question is how I'm trying to how do I say this without trying to sound what's the word I'm looking for? Not misogynistic, but it might sound misogynistic. How is okay? Let's put it like this. Does anyone know what a trade profession is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we all know, trade professions tend to pay considerably amount of of money, and with the right amount of time, practice, and dedication and investment into that career, people tend to get paid a lot of money. So, to be honest, I know individuals who have trades and they some of them, the one individual, he makes six figures. So when women are complaining about wage gap, but they're trying to get into fields that make a lot of money, is that really justifiable to complain?
Actually, actually, it's everywhere because me and my current boyfriend that I'm with now, we were both working at Sonic, and he got paid more than me, and we both have the same position, which is really off-putting when you think about it.
Who were you there longer than? Was he there longer than you, or were you both entering and were you both in the same? Did you both come in at the same time?
No, I came in a few months after he applied, but we both ended up in the same position, but yet he got paid more than what I did. And even when like even with some of those trading jobs, I know like a few women that do locomotive engineer, like they actually do drive these freight trains and whatnot, they their male coworkers get paid more than what they're getting paid, even though they're doing like the exact same job. It's like that everywhere, honestly. But it's all about like at some point it's just I don't know, man. It's really crazy to be honest with you.
There was like a law passed on like women getting paid the same as men, because that's been a problem for a long time. I forgot what the law was, but it took a Caucasian lady to realize that the men around her was getting paid more than her, and she's been at the company for years. So yeah, there's still unequal pay today.
Yeah,
Right.
and situations like that do occur. You get some people get overlooked when their work gets overlooked even after they've dedicated specific amount of time to that career, and that happens. So yeah, doing something about that that works. My only situation was addressing the wage gap because I've done a little bit of research, and the only place that I found that the wage gap seemed to be very prominent, besides the service industry, which Quay Talks explained. The only place I could find that the wage gap was considered very prominent was the WNBA. But my thing, and I always go back to the question when that wage gap. Let me ask you a personal question, Koi and Q. Do you two watch WNBA?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. No, I do not, because I don't know why I don't watch it. I try to be more supportive in it. Like I try to at least give the WNBA some of my some views on my end. But other than that, it's not really popular. I remember attending one of those games, and you hardly see anybody in the bleachers. Rather, if you was to go to an NBA game, their tickets are always sold out. Man, it's so crazy.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was trying to explain. That the reason they don't get that much they don't get that much pay is because they're not that really popular.
Popular.
They're popular.
And
Well, they're popular, y'all, because they have fans too. It's just a simple fact. It's the whole topic of this tonight's discussion, like gender roles. Like women couldn't play sports for a long time, and then it's 2022, and a lot of people still don't support them.
especially black women.
Right.
I think most of I think that I think that mostly has to do with I think most women aren't really into sports anyways.
A lot of black
That's
women play sports, but it's just like being female. Everybody wants us to be more like, timid and they don't think we can do the same thing as what y'all can do, males.
Okay, this brings me back to where old girl did track and she got a lot of backlash because she got caught with weed in her system, whereas right as her white athletic peers, they had like steroids in their systems and all kind of crap, and they still competed. That's what
I'm
I
going
know.
to I'm not gonna lie to you. I have two podcast shows that directly talk about that specific individual. If you are addressing about Shakari Richardson.
Yes.
Okay. And I understand, and I was and I am considerably proud of Shakari Richardson and her accomplishments. But the only thing I go back to the same with that situation is she broke a rule.
Right.
It's like they make rules every day, though. It's just easier for them to get away with it, though.
Exactly.
They not supposed to really take those steroids. I mean, they
That is
break rules.
true. That's true because Lance Armstrong lost his entire career because of that. Because he admitted a white guy. He lost
Right.
his
But
entire. He lost he's lost all Olympic. Not fleur de lis medals and everything.
right, but the only thing that turned me off from Shakari is just that around around the time the Olympics was happening, you still had black athletes that was still competing and you going around saying that nobody is not going to give a fuck about you because you're not there. Like at that point, it's like, yes, I've seen the tweets. And it's like, why are you bragging? Like, why are you like, baby? If you didn't, my thing is, if you're gonna like sit on the sidelines, at least support your other black brothers and sisters that's competing. But no, you wanted to make the Olympics about yourself. That would turn me off from Sha'Carri.
The thing about it is, I understand that she was going through an emotional time because her mother passed away during that. That was understandable. My thing about it is, when the Olympics is a very big money making situation. Okay, not to mention there are contracts and high level people that get involved with that. And you're right, it's not about you. So she, even though her mother passed away, she still signed the contract and read the rules and regulations of what she was not supposed to and what she was supposed to do in that specific time. She messed up. She fucked up. That was her L. And you're right, she shouldn't have been making it about her.
Right.
My only situation was people were basically saying that she, you know what, if people were, you know, just bluntly honest and said, yeah, she smoked that weed and she should still go, fuck y'all. Maybe I will feel a little more, maybe I'll be more content with how people were, you know, treating her. But, you know, I mean, not everybody gets a special pass from everything.
Of course not, especially since we're black and they looking at everything that we do. And they looking to, like, people already don't like us. And we already don't like us. See what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right, y'all. Before I get off, I want to ask y'all, the two males on the podcast, back to gender roles.
Somebody kind of asking procedures a question. That's awesome.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about reverse gender roles, right? As in the male staying at home, taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, you know, while the wife is at work. Like, does it matter if is it acceptable if he's like sick and like not able to work and he's doing what he can at home, or do y'all feel like no matter what, a man should go and get it?
I don't know what you mean by go and get it.
The bag.
Go get the bag.
The bag.
Okay. All I'm gonna say is this: if I ever find a millionaire sugar mama who takes care of prestigious and takes care of prestigious, all I gotta do is keep this damn shithole of my house clean and watch this badass motherfucker who runs around my house.
Yep. The whole shebang.
I'm gonna be honest. She could probably do it. I'm gonna have it warm every night. I'm gonna have the damn freaking AC off at 68 degrees. What? She gonna have a warm cooked meal. She gonna have 3-course meals at home. She probably. Well, I can't say what she gonna do, but the sex life gonna be rocking. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm gonna be tired myself on what I'm gonna have to do. Just keep her happy.
Jeff trying to knock something loose.
I really gotta address me as my name, buddy. Just me as my name. But yeah, absolutely. That's how it's gonna be for Prestige. But I digress. That's what it would be like. But you know, prestigious ain't found a millionaire sugar mama yet.
The man say yet.
But Bubba, you can address how you would handle that situation.
Well, I think it should be just suited to the individual. I think if the man can cook well, he should cook. If he wants to cook, he should cook. The woman want to cook, she should cook whenever she want to cook. I don't think it should be like rules and stuff.
Right, because that's how we do it here at my house.
Yeah, same.
I'm going to be honest. This might sound hurtful for a lot of people if they're listening now, but if you over the age of 20 and you don't know how to cook, you partially already kind of failed as an adult. I'm sorry. I know it's offensive, but like so I know because I know some people have told me that they never got to touch. So they never got to touch a pot in the pan until they were like freaking 18. Like that's understandable.
I know you fucking lying.
But y'all, I literally work with somebody and his wife cannot cook. I mean, she don't touch a pan and he cooks and
He needs to get rid of her.
like he said, I really don't know what's suitable for the household because she can't cook, but he throw down and it works out just fine.
Then she must have some fire goodies. Then that's the only thing keeping me around.
I'm not gonna play, but thank you so much, Prestigious G, for having me.
No problem. I'll keep you posted when our next show is.
All right, bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how I feel. And Bo is right. Whatever works for you, it works for you. That's how it always has been. That's one reason I think stuff like gender roles, polygamy, homosexuality has kind of become things like that have become more prominent because people are just more open to just letting people do whatever the hell they want to do as long as it doesn't affect anybody else.
Right.
If it don't hurt nobody, if it ain't hurting nobody, this is really a bad situation.
Right. Especially if it's not hurting me financially. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yep.
I'm gonna just be real.
Right. Speaking of that situation, I saw a commercial. Since I know you guys live in Louisiana, there's a John Kennedy commercial going on around. I don't know if you guys seen it because he's trying to run for Senate again. So he's basically like he's like I'm pro not defunding the police and all that junk. And this dude, you got to look it up, man. I might try to pull it up, but the way he just came out and said what he said, I actually hold on a second. Let me see if I can find that infomercial because that was crazy. Because he's running. I know he's currently running for senator.
I remember I seen a commercial of somebody running. They were smoking weed.
Motherfuckers just do anything. Motherfuckers just do anything. Hold on. I think I found it. Hold on. I think I found it. I'm gonna share it to you guys. I'll hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can find. Yeah. Here it is. Here it is. I found it. I can't believe this, man. I'm gonna stream it on. I'm gonna screen share it for you guys because this is pretty freaking bold for what he said. Hold on a second. Share. Okay. Can you guys see?
No, I cannot.
Hold on. Share system.
I can see it.
All right. Can you see it now?
Nope. Still can't see it.
Dude, hold on a second. How about now?
Nope.
Still no. Wait, I didn't mean to turn my camera on.
It's fine. Can't keep. And this stupid thing's running slow. Can't believe it's doing this. Y'all bear with me for a second, cause this thing is running slow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still can't see anything yet.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
All right, hold on, one more time. Okay, okay, now it's up. Now can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. All right. So I need you guys to see this. just sound like some partially racist type stuff.
What the
I know
fuck?
this is getting off of you know,
I can already see where this shit is going. I know you fucking lying.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Is surging in Louisiana. Local leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because of cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy.
If the next time hold on. The next time you're in trouble, call a crackhead.
Jesus Christ.
The next time you are in trouble, call a crackhead.
We're doomed. I'm sorry, I did not mean to laugh so hard.
Okay. Yeah, that took me. Hold on, let me replay that one more time. That part was the part that stuck out to me.
Just because of cops. The next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I'm John Kennedy, and I approve this.
Who let him put this up here? Okay.
Who grandpa is
Like,
this?
That is John Kennedy. That is the guy running for president.
Yeah.
He is currently running for president.
Wow,
We're fucking doomed.
But we gotta vote. We have to vote.
He's been senator for a good minute. So for a few good minutes. But yeah, that whoever his PR is, they must have been high as a damn hot air balloon. They just let him just come out and be like, yeah, like that. Like, come on, like that was. I honestly would say that's the equivalent of when Donald Trump was like, Mexicans are thugs and rapists.
Oh my god.
Call it crack. I'm gonna let that. I'm gonna let that be my next mantra for the next time. Hashtag call a crackhead.
Man, I'm so fucking weak.
But yeah. Sorry for getting off. What did you say?
I said thank you for having me.
No problem. Getting back on the subject. Here's my next question. Sorry. Who do you think has experienced the most ethical gender role change in American society?
I think men, honestly.
Can you expound upon that?
Okay, so I feel that and I've been called a pick me, but you can't call me a pick me because I've been chosen. So
Snap, 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 snap.
Mm.
but I feel that men have experience because it's like okay, a woman in a modern day household, like they don't really need a man, they kind of want a man, vice versa. A man don't need a woman either if he's able to, if he can cook and he can do all that stuff on his own, he don't need a woman either. But I feel that a man is not loved or not submitted to properly if he doesn't contribute or if he doesn't give the woman exactly what she wants.
That's a good point. I mean, like you said, women in society don't necessarily need someone to provide for them. They can do that on their own, but some women want that extra man just to provide that little extra form of comfort for them, just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, some women are like that, but most women, especially where I'm from, they don't love a man unless he has X amount of money is in the account. If he's able to do A through Z and all this extra shit and more than just like providing for the household, like paying all the bills and shit, and pay for all of her shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and that is given trifling energy if you ask me personally, because it's like what do you want, honestly? What do you really want in a man? Because if you have a man if you want a man that's not only going to provide for you but pay all the bills and pay for your shit, then when shit hits the fan and he gonna be like, well, I pay for all of this and you don't have no money, sis. That's why I'm so
She's married to him. She there's is a possibility she could just take him for all this shit. So
probably just
that,
leeching.
so
Well,
that
most of it is
that's a L for him. But at the same time, there are some dudes that are willing to provide that for all those men, for all those women. Now depending on the kind of woman she is and the kind of dude he is, if he's kind of weak and determined to give in to her whims regardless of her feelings for him, that's just called a wussy ass sin. So that's for me. But if the feeling is mutual between both of that man and that woman, then if he wants to provide for something, because the men I talk to, they personally would say they would prefer to have a woman, if they would they marry her, they would prefer her for her to not work. They would prefer her to be at home taking care of other things while they go out and work, which is understandable.
but
The
whatever
baby
works.
babysitting, if they have a kid, babysitting can be hard. Or like some dudes, like some individuals, if they open their own business, they have their woman that work for them. So it's technically not them just sitting on their ass all day. It's actually them contributing.
Right.
Mm.
But Bo, who do you think has experienced the most ethnical gender role change?
Um, I definitely say women. I
Yeah.
definitely say women simply because of the different movements that has been set in place for women to propel themselves further into the business world and the politics. Just simply from not being able to vote to being able to vote to reaching positions that only men had, like Supreme Court judge and all these other things. President, we have women running for president. You know, that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case last century. That wasn't the case.
Right,
So
especially with the church too, because back then you only had like male preachers. Now you have women preachers. You have even in the Bible you have like women that were considered as a prophetess, but not as a person
that's in the pulpit. You know, you always had a man in the pulpit. It was never a woman until recently.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if anything, it's kind of like both kind of see and feel, both genders are seeing and feeling the shift of modern society.
Right.
And also,
Exactly.
oh,
No. Go.
just to add in the fact that along with the shift for women, they deal with a lot of judgment just simply because of how, just for example, a lot of women get judgment based off of how they dress, the
Mm-hmm.
content in their songs and stuff, and that's
Mm-hmm.
simply because of the shift going on in regards to the gender roles that women have in society.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
gonna be
know,
honest. When you're talking about music, if you're talking about music, I'm gonna be honest. Uh, Megan Thee Stallion talking about women shaking their asses and shit, and versus dudes like freaking Dr. Dre calling women and bitches and hoes and shit. That's not really anything different. So I'm not gonna nitpick and say Megan Thee Stallion's doing worse. Worse gentrification to the minds of young women versus Dr. Dre, who was doing the shit in the 90s 30 years ago.
mm-hmm.
As long, like I said earlier, as long as it's not affecting me financially, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
That's how I honestly feel, especially with women being in the clubs and like throwing that thing back and whatever. I don't care, because like how many times I've been called lame because I chose to stay at home. I chose to like
Any dude that calls you lame for wanting to not be
no, I've been
in
called lame by women.
any woman that calls you well, honestly, they just trying to make themselves feel better for the lack of homeliness that they don't patrol versus your homeliness that you exuberate well. Plus,
Right.
you're probably a slut anyway, so whatever.
I am an introvert. I stay to myself. I don't go to parties. Even when I was in school, I never had any interest in going to parties, was none whatsoever. Like it I was like, I'm not into that. So I'm not, even now I'm not into parties or anything like that.
I don't know. We both kind of know each other, and we kind of went to the same school. So if we knew what kind of parties they were doing, you
Yeah,
probably are happy that you stayed home. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get invited to no damn parties either. But from what my friends have told me, now that we're grown, I wouldn't want to been there anyway.
and you wouldn't have, no.
I would not have wanted to be there anyway.
Well, I just be at home chilling. I find drinking a glass of wine and watching Netflix more enjoyable than enjoying other people. I hate people, most of them.
People be sleeping on wine. Wine tastes good as hell when you drink it alone, especially when you're in a good mood. That's just me. That's just me. Wine, even margaritas or wine on the weekend, that shit tastes good. And a good movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Netflix, I'm on episode 6 of this Jeff Dahmer stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, this dude is disturbing. Hella disturbing. Like, he sounds like he was the original freaking incel or some shit.
I'll take your word for it. I'm not watching that.
Yeah, that's on the TV now.
The thing about it is, I wouldn't say it's scary. It's just the cinematography of it is just. Whoever did the cinematography of this is definitely going to get a freaking Emmy or an Oscar for this. Like, this is done. Looks like something that John Carpenter and another freaking horror act came together and just decided to put together.
It's very
really
detailed.
But yeah, Dom was he's a weird ass dude. But let's get back on. So y'all got like I only got like one question left before we end the stream tonight. What are some negatives that have come out of gender role switching? Or what or maybe like not negatives, maybe let's just say effects.
Uh, I'm trying not to be cause I'm gonna
Now,
just say
this is
I'm a,
all. Hey, look, before you finish, you all know, right? This is a free zone area. As long as you're not degrading anybody in a personal from a personal perspective, you have every right to say is what you wish.
no, it's just that I'm a very
Hello,
unpopular person.
you're a fairy. What?
An unpopular person.
I'm not sure what that means. What you mean by that?
Okay. Well, it's not an opinion, but I feel like the negatives that come out of it when say for instance you got like you have this woman that's wanting a man to do everything, and it's a lot of bickering and complaining on both ends, because everybody's like you got what you wanted, and but yet you still complaining about what the man isn't doing, and the man is complaining about what the woman isn't doing. But at some point a lot of these households is like falling a lot of these relationships and households are falling apart because they can't find common ground. It's like they can't, like they want a
There's no such.
role.
They don't. They people don't want to compromise in the dating scene. Is that what you're saying?
No, especially if you're living together and you have kids. Because I'm witness firsthand, a lot of relationships fell apart because there's no common ground. There is no there's no sharing the load. Like, say for instance, if you say you're like, you're both working, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the house need to be clean, the food need to be cooked, the kid need to be taken care of, and it's like it all falls on the woman, and yet like the man, it's like the man doesn't want to take care of these responsibilities, vice versa. So now you having two important people in this child's life that's constantly clashing and constantly bickering and constantly arguing because they can't seem to find common ground with anything. That is what I mean by I'm a very unpopular person, because a lot of these things that I'm speaking is facts. And a lot of people don't like to listen to facts. They don't like to hear the truth, and they rather sit in their own shit and rather just sit there and not fix the problem. They don't want to hear the truth, which is why I'm considered a very unpopular person. I am a very raw and uncut person. So
You will, and then I'm happy. Then I'm happy I brought you up here. Then.
right. So it's like in order to fix, like in order to bring back these biblical and traditional household, we have to find common ground, because in the Bible we God talks about even though
The
there's
social
two,
the
right, there's
social
two.
contracts, the social contract, the contract that I believe that you were about to say. Well, from what I know, somebody's interpreted the Bible in a specific way, and they basically the Bible there's a social contract between men and women,
Right,
and
right.
and as American society and Western society grows, that social contract is being just thrown
It's
to the wayside for everybody else's own personal desires instead of just looking for the greater good of the aspect of what is actually happening
right,
to
and
men
it's
and
like
women.
they taking this. It's like it's being taken as a joke in a way, because like why, like in my eyes, in my opinion, that's why everything is falling apart now, because nobody is sticking with that social contract. Nobody is sticking together anymore. It's like everybody is out for themselves now, and
Mhm.
there's no teamwork. There's no effort being put in these relationships, and now your house is falling apart, and you have a kid that you have to decide, that has to make a decision whether they want to be with the mom or they want to be with the dad. So
I think I think that part. I think partially has to do with the fact. If I can explain it, elaborate. I think technology, for one thing, has something to do with it because technology made things a lot more easily accessible to us, which made people more codependent on themselves, without the need to actually have anybody else. So basically, when you get in a relationship with a person, you're not really seeing them as somebody who can add. You're just seeing them as a convenience.
exactly. And that's the whole point. Like, it is all a convenience for that particular party. It's not really, there's no teamwork going on, there's no effort going on into it. It's just like I said earlier, everybody's out for themselves. It's just whatever. Everything in the relationship is free game at this point. So
Right. I can't. My thing about it is, from what I've seen, if if this whole well, I'm gonna say this this whole people are not really the dating scene. Well, the dating scene and social life with between men and women is already kind of thick right now, and we're already at an infertility crisis right now because at least for black and white infants, the birth rate is like, I believe the birth rate for white for Caucasians is at 0.6, and for blacks it is 0.7, and you at least need to be at I think more like at 2.1 for there to be any sort of growth in fertility for you to have a society. So if we're that low and people aren't having kids, ain't in the next generation really they ain't gonna really be anybody to replace you.
not only not having kids, but the abortions too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's a whole nother issue all on its own. With the abortion issues and stuff like that, is just it's been crazy. I'd rather just keep that one to myself, honestly.
Don't worry, we'll have another chance to discuss it though.
Right.
We'll have another chance to discuss that.
I'd rather discuss this on another the next time we talk, but it's a whole situation on its own. It is especially hard because, like, I don't have kids. I remember going into the doctor because me and my ex-fiance was actually trying for a kid, and that's when I found out that I had PCOS. It's really hard. It's really hard for me at the moment, but it's sad to see so many abortions going on over not just over
self-discipline for one thing,
right, and negligence and bad and poor decision making.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna talk about that on another show. But whoo, child.
I feel you. All right. I'm about to I think we're gonna end the show right there. Bo, do you have any last regarding words?
No. I'm satisfied with our conversation.
Okay. All right. Well,
crazy, but it's just crazy how much things are changing. I just look forward to see what's next.
Yeah. Well, let's hope humanity don't blow itself up before that. then again, honestly, I wouldn't really care. That's one really thing. Anything that involves humanity just dying out, I'm not really that concerned about it because I'm not really that big fan of humans. And I'm a full grown listener. I really don't like humans that much, but I only have a few handful that I like. But it is what it is. All right, so let me give my closing thoughts before going on. Time changes, and evolution is always right around the corner. That's literally in human's nature. Now, as for will it be for the best or will it be for the greater or will it be for a negative? I can't really answer that question. What I do know is that people tend to make the best of the situation that they're in and tend to adapt. And men and women have entered different fields to help continue our society in a greater aspect. That's basically what evolution is, just moving from one phase of society, so one phase of a life to the next. Now, whether you're a guy working 60 hours a week, lifting heavy girders, or you're a beautician or a female accountant, basically making sure people have their money correct, even though they probably money laundering. Anyway, it makes as long as you're doing your part to ensure your own sovereignty in life, it shouldn't really matter how things work for you, especially whether you're the female breadwinner in your house or you're the stay-at-home dad or you're the dude, like I said, you're the guy who works 60 hours a day and the wife takes care of the 2 kids. As long as you and your significant other find common ground to ensure that both of you are mentally prepared and sane to take care of the people that you care about, it shouldn't really matter it shouldn't really matter what duty or role that you endow yourself with.
Exactly.
Right.
But like I said, I thank you two for coming on tonight. Stay on after I turn off the live. I have a little bit more to talk about you with. But thanks everybody for listening. As usual, truth, wisdom, and knowledge. And remember, if you don't want to remember the next time you don't want to call the cops, call a crackhead.
I know you just didn't win though.
Good night. All right.